So before I jump into this one, wanna give me like what will give me a bit of a like a.
Do you want like vague as hell or just like
keep it as vague as hell? Yeah.
final boss?
All right. Let's listen. All right, that's okay. All right, let's hop into it. Your first recommendation of this time. 1, 2, 3, go.
Enjoy, my friend.
Wait. This is Sonic and Knuckles. Or Sonic 3? Sonic 3? This remix, though. I haven't heard this remix. Definitely a Sonic game.
It's Sonic Generations.
Right.
One of the coolest official remixes I've ever heard.
It is pretty sick.
Are you familiar with Crush 40 in June?
Oh, for sure. Legend.
This is him.
Yeah.
It's so animated.
It does. It totally sounds like a Crush 40 remix of this classic Sonic 3 song, which is exactly what it is.
Yeah. With its own flair.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Nice catch right away too.
I know. Well, because this is a song from my childhood. It's deep
I thought
in there.
that Sonic 2, so I didn't recognize it when I heard it.
I wonder if this is a Michael Jackson song. Is this Michael Jackson via Sonic 3?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's pretty sick. Oh. Chef's
Yeah,
kiss.
June is
June is
Chef's
something.
kiss, brother. Oh man, the song is so good.
They really need to go. They didn't need to go this hard, but they did.
Can't hear you over the rocking out.
Sick. I love it. That was fantastic.
It's awesome. I'm glad you. See, that's what I meant. Like, you may recognize it, but maybe not.
Yeah, it was a new interpretation of a song I'm familiar with. Like I knew it was Sonic 3 right away, and I've played Sonic Generations, but I mean I don't think I finished it actually. So this was fresh.
I don't know if it's the final boss in Generations. I just know that they took that boss from 3 and put it somewhere. And apparently, fun fact is that it's like such a big complaint with the community based on my comment section that boss, they like ruined it. It's like so short. You only hear like a fraction of that song because it's so short. I'm like, that's horrible. That sounds terrible.
That's the thing. Like sometimes you write this incredible piece of music, like a composer does this incredible piece of music for a game, and then like
blow through it.
Right, like you don't hear any of it because the boss wasn't designed appropriately around it, and it's always such a shame. it's been a while since I played Sonic Generations, and I think I would have remembered a sick remix like that. But sometimes you need to, like, even if you played the game, you need to brush up.
Maybe you only heard 10 seconds of it, just like everyone else. Who knows?
Right. That was sick though, and like this is the point about Sonic games, is that the quality can be fairly hit or miss when it comes to the games themselves, but I always look forward to a new Sonic game, if only for the soundtrack. Yeah.
So what you just said has been like mimicked to death. Every time I put up a Sonic video, they're like, if there's one thing you can count on for Sonic, whether the games are total ASS, the soundtrack will always deliver.
Always deliver. Yeah. Always deliver. Have you heard like anything from the from Sonic Frontiers? They've gone to like metalcore, like serious.
But I will very soon.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you've gotten a few recommendations for that, because it is. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's like, okay.
As of me recording this today, I have not, but I will pretty soon with the biggest request for it. I think it's called
Undefeatable, I think, is the biggest
that
track.
One.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And it's like, you think, oh, this is a song about an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah.
That's what I think every time I hear Sonic. I went from never. So my whole thing is like, I'm very honest with everyone. I'm like, I've actually played Sonic, but only the first. I do remember playing like the first 3 on Sega Genesis, but I was like 5, 6 years old, so I don't remember any of that. The only thing that really stuck with me was like Green Hill Zone, Marble, and like pretty much all of Sonic 1. But when I heard this one for the first time, I heard the original, and then right after that, I heard this one, and they're both super dope. But
the soundtrack for Sonic 1, I don't know about Sonic 2, but Sonic 1 is certainly by this J-pop band called Dreams Come True. They were a pretty big deal at the time as well. I'm not sure whether it's from Sonic 2, but, Sega's composers at those times were top of their field. Sonic 2 also has a fantastic soundtrack. Sonic 3, of course, there's this whole debate that's been raging over the years. How much of it was by Michael Jackson? I think it's turned out that over the years, like quite a few of the tracks were
so random,
because he was huge at the time, and then he ran some scandals, and a lot of companies tried to distance themselves from him. But you can definitely hear, like, I'm not sure about that track, but definitely in the Sonic. I think in the Sonic 3 soundtrack, you can definitely hear elements of like Jackson's composing style.
I don't even remember the 3 soundtrack, so it's like I'm looking forward to when I hear it again, because I've been waiting to hear that exact thing you said. I'm like, okay, will I be able to spot like the MJ, like, or maybe he went like a totally different route that I didn't want to be associated. I don't know. See, the reason I didn't say anything earlier is because, as far as I know, the first 2 or 3 were Nakamura, but for 3, I always heard that rumor of like MJ being a part of it. So I don't know who made it. This song is called Big Arm, by the way. Mm-hmm. I don't know who made Big Arm. It's a kind of a mystery. I asked kind of like a Sonic expert, and he sent me a link, and it says credits ?
Yeah. Like, it can sometimes be hard to root out who the specific composer was. I think with some companies it can still be like really, really vague, because they just call it like, Sega Sound Team or Bandai Namco Sound Team, or whatever. And like videos on my channel, I try to credit composers, especially for like our longer videos, and sometimes I just can't find the name of the composer, so it sucks.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Shout out Crush 40 though.
Yeah, shout out.
I had no idea who they were a year ago, and now I'm just like,
shout out to Crush 40 and Jun Senue, because he is the Don. He delivers every single time. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go into this completely blind. All right, so 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
Why does it sound so familiar? But I don't know it, but it sounds familiar. I I love those synth vocals.
I brought some bass for you.
Oh, love it. This is great. This is so video gamey. I love it.
I feel like I can telepathically guess what you think it is, and it's wrong.
I'm trying to think. Is this from an RPG or a platform game, or something completely different?
Neither.
It's really hard to pin down.
Neither. Do you get any setting at all?
The drums make me think like jungle environment, maybe?
We'll find out soon. Boom, 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 boom. God, I love this song.
It's a great song.
It's so good.
Is it from the 32-bit era, like PlayStation 1? It sounds like that kind of era.
Also, PlayStation 1.
Yeah, yeah. Is it by Squaresoft? No.
Nope. We need more vocals like this in games, man.
I love it. I love it. Like, we were talking about Shin Megami Tensei last time, and they do something similar with synth vocals in their games too.
When was the last time you heard a triangle in a song?
I can't remember. Put to good use, though. Put to good use.
I've been chasing this genre my whole life, and I have no idea what it is. It's just like its own
thing. It's
yeah.
It's very it really creates a certain mood, right? Like you can really, it is its own specific genre, but even within video gaming, it's its own subcategory of a genre.
Whee!
That was great.
That was a trip down memory lane.
Games from this era have a certain energy to them, and you can feel like the composers were really trying to go out there and do something really different. And like, hey, games are the future, and let's go nuts. When
you were talking about that, I was trying to hold it in because I'm like, oh my god, wait till he hears this next one.
Right?
I was like, that's gonna reflect here quite a bit.
Yeah. Like this is real sort of innovative, sort of anything goes energy. Let's just throw it all out there. Which is something I love about games from that time. But it makes it so hard to pin down though, because it's just yeah, I can tell it's like, you know, it is like a PlayStation 1, probably mid to late 90s, probably late 90s.
1998, I believe, maybe 99.
I was thinking like maybe, you know, I got sort of like Parasite Eve sort of vibes from it.
I can give you a few more hints. Konami, so you know it's dead. Hudson Soft, if that rings a bell.
Yes, Hudson Soft does ring a bell. And it's not an RPG.
Nope. Think of How You Met Me.
Fighting game.
From what I recall, the only fighting game they've done.
Yeah. So. I think I know what it is. I was talking about it a few weeks ago. Actually, it was sort of like this interesting blend of like Tekken, Dead or Alive. Is it a 3D fighting game?
Yep.
What was the name of the game?
Bloody Roar 2.
Bloody Roar 2. Of course.
Are you familiar with Bloody Roar?
Of course, I'm familiar with Bloody Roar. Yeah.
Did you play them?
I played the first one, but like not the other ones. Again, a rental. And it was sick, right? Like, so innovative. Like, you know, everyone's been clamoring for a new Bloody Roar. I think it would be great to have that franchise rebooted.
In this time of age, that'd be a great game to come back. But
yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would be from a fighting game.
I thought that you were gonna guess that it was gonna be Street Fighter EX Alpha because it has kind of the same, right? Like Strange Sunset and stuff like that. Yeah. But you didn't, so that's cool.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that the links to EX Alpha and EX Alpha 2. EX Alpha 2 has
By the way, those I've only heard 3 songs from the EX series, and they're incredible.
But yeah, this was great. It makes me want to play some Bloody Roar, actually, now that you mentioned it.
You were actually totally on the money as far as setting. So I'm going to geek out just a bit on Bloody Roar. Fun fact, this is my favorite soundtrack of all time. Of all time. Like everything, not just fighting games, everything. Makes me very happy that you enjoyed it, because this is why. The thing that makes Bloody Roar so special, like you said, you know, in that time where everyone was like putting all their passions and ideas, it was one of those types of soundtracks that I really enjoy because there's like 2 soundtracks in it. Where it was like you go to the options and you select, in this case, the character themes, or you flip a button and then stage themes. These stage themes, which we just heard, have this kind of electronic, whatever, you know, this just more experimental thing, and the character themes are very like rock,
aggressive,
and Japanese metal.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we heard my favorite stage, which is called Dome, which is a dome encapsulated, like surrounded by a jungle.
Right. Yeah. And you can totally hear that in the track itself. It's like this combination of like jungle vibes with something a bit more ethereal and electronic, and you know, dome in a jungle. Yes, that makes perfect sense.
I'm so glad you said that. I was like, oh wow, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I think if a song has successfully given you a sense of place and mood and atmosphere, then mission accomplished, right? Kudos to the composer. I wish I knew who composed that, because like, give that person a raise.
As far as I know, this was composed by like 4 different people. Yeah. And they each had like their own selection of tracks, and I'm pretty sure this one was someone named Jin Watanabe. So I looked far and wide, and I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Okay. And I think he did like 3 or 4 of like some of my favorite songs in the whole game. So, but this one always like really stood out. And just to take on what you just said, especially in fighting games where like, you know, the scenery is like so important as far as the background goes. These songs really fit the background.
I want to listen to the rest of the soundtrack now. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna seek it out, and especially since you recommended the whole soundtrack. You know, because it's interesting you mentioned that you know, they separate the characters from the stages, and you have two soundtracks effectively. The only other games I can think that do that are recent Street Fighter games, like Street Fighter 4 and 5, where you can pick between the stage or the characters. And I think at the time that must have been completely new.
I can't really think of many besides like Street Fighter 4 or 5, and I want to say did maybe like the earlier Tekkens did, but I haven't heard much of the earlier Tekken stuff, so I don't.
Music was always associated with the stage.
Because I know for 2 there was definitely like 2. I know 3 had definitely like character themes.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I get confused because it's just a more story.
Each character had their stage, and that stage had a theme.
Oh, okay. So they were connected to it. Okay, that's kind of another reason I actually really do like Street Fighter's music, because it reminds me of this. I started with this first. This was way before I got into anything else. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have got into anything down that road, because, like I said, even with the character stuff, just like the stages, it totally fits the character.
Yeah. That's something I miss about fighting games, actually.
It's cool. It's personality.
Right, you know, fighting game, like, characters are at the core of the appeal of fighting games. Like, you have this character, and you have an unparalleled sense of control over them. And like whatever you can do to bolster that character's personality is a plus to the overall game. So giving them their own bespoke stage and theme adds to the game overall. It's something that fighting games used to do in the 90s. And then
say it's a forgotten art.
And then we sort of went through like these dark ages where fighting games just became really budget, and they started just like throwing out a bunch of generic stages and characters that weren't associated with them at all in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, and they lost so much personality in doing so. Well, with 5 did it with some characters, not with all characters, but I think some characters again have their own stage, but not all of them. Like Dhalsim has his stage, for example. Blanka has his stage. Hen doesn't really have a stage, for example. So they've kind of gone for a mix with that. I think
do you mean in 5?
Yeah, well, 5 and 6 and... Yeah, all the recent...
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. No, I never thought about it that way. They did, like, some, but not all. That's weird.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6 are all the same. Some of the characters have their own stage. Like, it's weird. Like, Guile, for example, in Street Fighter V, he has the Air Force base, right? And the song for the Air Force base is the Air Force base. But Guile's theme is also the Air Force base song. So it's just, you have 2 versions of the same song in the game, but not every... It's weird, right? And it's a classic song.
Like they're pick and choose.
It's pick and choose. I get it because, you know, making stages and songs is time consuming and expensive, and people want big rosters. You know, you can't. And is it really manageable to make, you know, a game with 30 characters and 30 stages and 30 themes? But if Final Fantasy VII Remake can have a soundtrack with over 200 pieces of music and high quality music, I hope fighting games can aspire to that someday. All right. This was I think, thank you again for 2 excellent picks.
Likewise.
I really, really enjoyed the Bloody Roar 2 theme. And Crush 40, always gotta love Crush 40. Like, yeah, like, you know, Jun Senue, yeah, always bangers. So, 2 great songs, thank you.
You're welcome. BGM is pretty cool.
VGM is pretty cool. So I guess that wraps up for this time. I'm looking forward to the next one. I guess we'll do this once a week. And yeah, cheers, dude. Absolute pleasure.
We'll see the YouTube world later.
See ya.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace. See ya.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more, you can check out Arya's YouTube channel at That Blasted Salami. A reminder that our episodes are split between my channel and his, so I will see you over there.